My ex-girlfriend claims my current girlfriend manipulated her into ending our 4-year relationship. Am I the asshole? I, 28 years old, am really confused about the events of the last month. My ex-girlfriend, Sarah, who is 29, thinks that my current girlfriend, Chloe, 28, is manipulative and sabotaged our 4-year relationship. I was in a loving relationship with Sarah for the last 4 years. We met through some mutual friends. Sarah and I were very compatible in terms of our love for outdoor activities and running. We have very similar lifestyles and supported each other well for the last 4 years. We have also been living together for the last 3 years. We even discussed getting married during the summer. Everything was great, and I was planning to propose to her over the holidays. However, I started to see changes in behavior in Sarah around September. She was acting distant and looked stressed. It was quite noticeable, and I was worried. I trust her with all my heart, and I could not imagine she would be cheating on me. However, she did spend more time by herself. Around the same time, Sarah's friend Chloe messaged me privately and asked me if I could meet her secretly, as she wanted to tell me something about Sarah. Chloe and Sarah work together, and I've known Chloe ever since I started dating Sarah. I was surprised, but to be honest, I assumed the worst. I met her at a cafe after work. She asked me if things were going well between Sarah and me. She told me that Sarah told her that she was planning to leave me soon. This was a total shock to me. I asked her if there was anyone else that Sarah was interested in, and she told me no. Sarah confided in her that she was not sure about marrying me. Chloe told me she just had to tell me this, as she did not want me to be blindsided. I was devastated. I started putting more effort into making our relationship more exciting and planning more dates, etc. Chloe was also helping me through this time and telling me more about what Sarah told her. Eventually, before Thanksgiving, Sarah told me that she loved me, but she wanted to take a break for a month to live alone. She said that she just wanted to live alone for a month to make sure she wanted to marry me. I was completely heartbroken. I asked her if she wanted to pursue someone else. She told me that was not the case, and I better not do anything stupid either. She loves me with all her heart, but she just wants to stay away from me to make sure that she is marrying me for love and not because she is used to being with me. I did not understand that at all. I told her that if she is not sure after 4 years if she wants to marry me, then maybe we should just break up. We had a big fight and broke up. After a few days, as our lease was ending, we decided to part ways in December. She got a new apartment, and I kept our old apartment and just took her name off the lease. After the breakup, I was feeling very lonely, as I was not used to being in the apartment alone. I didn't want to keep on being sad and hence invited a bunch of friends for a New Year's party. I also invited Chloe. We had a good time, and my friends were doing their best to cheer me up. Chloe also mingled with my friends, and it was good. Chloe decided to stay back to help me clean up, and we hooked up that night. I felt guilty, but Chloe did cheer me up. It wasn't planned, but she just stayed back after the party, and things happened. I felt discarded and unwanted after a 4-year relationship and was not thinking straight. Since then, we have hung out almost daily at my place. I am still sad about Sarah, but I won't lie that being with Chloe does make me feel happy. She is sweet and caring. Last Sunday, we woke up and someone was banging on the door. I went to open it, and it was Sarah. She looked furious and started yelling at me. She kept on accusing me of cheating on her. I told her I most certainly did not cheat on her, and she was the one who broke up with me. Chloe was also at my apartment. Sarah was just angry at both of us. She started calling Chloe manipulative and told me that Chloe was the one who suggested to her that she should take some time away from me to understand her true feelings. I calmed her down and asked her to explain herself. She told me that ever since our marriage talk, she told Chloe about it, and Chloe kept on asking Sarah if she was sure about marrying me. Chloe suggested she take some time to herself to understand her true feelings and that I will understand and give her space. When I said no to the break, Chloe convinced her that I was so controlling that I could not even give her 1 month to herself and convinced her to break up with me. Chloe told me that she did not say any such things, and these were all Sarah's ideas. She was just there during these conversations. She did tell Sarah that she told me about some of the things so that I get a chance to make things right with her over the last few months. That made Sarah more angry, and she started accusing me of emotionally cheating on her. Sarah told me that the last few weeks have made her realize that we were meant to be together, but she now cannot believe I could move on from a 4-year relationship in a week. On one hand, I want to believe Sarah, but she broke up with me for no fault of my own. Chloe was there for me when I was down, but now I also doubt her. She suddenly started talking to me out of the blue, as we were never really close before, and immediately became my support after the breakup, although Sarah was her close friend. Am I the asshole to emotionally cheat on Sarah? Should I have told her about Chloe's texts? Should I have not moved on from her so quickly, even though Sarah broke up with me? I was just hurting, and Chloe was right there to support me. I need advice from someone with a clear mind on what is going on. Relevant comment. Sounds like you and Sarah need to talk privately and discuss what Chloe said to each of you. As others said, this sounds all too convenient. Chloe was in both of your ears, telling you both what she wanted you to hear to orchestrate this whole thing. Please reach out to Sarah and ask her to talk to you alone. Even if you both don't get back together, I'm sure you care for each other deeply, and she would want you to be with someone who cares about you and won't manipulate you and her. Her manipulation of you is more direct, but Sarah is the victim as well. OP response, you are right. If Sarah is right, I just threw a 4-year relationship under the bus in 2 weeks. Update 1. I, 28, posted last week regarding my girlfriend Sarah, 29, accusing her friend and coworker Chloe, 28, of sabotaging our relationship. Sarah broke up with me in December after a 4-year relationship, and Chloe reached out to me when I was feeling down. However, when Sarah realized Chloe was talking to me, she confronted both of us last Sunday morning and told me that Chloe manipulated her to break up with me. The worst part was I was not thinking straight after the breakup and ended up hooking up with Chloe after a New Year's party. After the incident, I told Chloe I needed some time and did not meet her since then. I made the following post on Reddit and had 3,000 people call me an idiot. I am sorry for the long post, but I wanted to say that we were not idiots to not see what happened. You guys read an abridged version of events in 5 minutes, while we lived it for the last 6 months. I messaged Sarah every day since then to try and talk to her. She did not reply to my messages. I was not sure if she blocked me. Chloe was constantly trying to message me, asking if we could meet and talk about it. On Wednesday, one day after posting, I decided to message Chloe. I told her to tell me everything she said to Sarah truthfully. I told her I would go and see Sarah if I found out that she was lying. Chloe wanted to meet me in person or talk to me on the phone, but I wanted everything in writing. She messaged me that Sarah always said good things about me for all these years. When Sarah told her about us talking about getting married in 2024, she was happy for both of us. However, Sarah started telling her that she had cold feet and was not sure if she wanted to marry me because of issues she observed about her parents' marriage. One day, Sarah told her she wanted to take a break from me. She was not sure about her true feelings for me. That was the time Chloe told me about Sarah's behavior, as she felt bad for me since we were already telling our families about the engagement plans. After our fight, she said that Sarah was extremely upset and told Chloe that she would never marry me. She said that the only reason Sarah came back was when she heard that I was moving on, as she is jealous of us. She also said that I was a good guy and hopefully I see that what we have is something special. I just said okay and told her I needed time. I kept on messaging Sarah once a day to at least talk to her once. It was heartbreaking to think that she may have blocked me and may never talk to me again. On Friday afternoon, Sarah finally replied. She said she wanted to meet me and told me she would come to our apartment on Saturday afternoon. I cleaned the place up and was just feeling deep guilt from inside before facing her. When she came in, she looked like a shell of herself and completely broken. I sat on our sofa, but she chose to sit away from me. We asked how we both were, but it was clear that none of us were doing well. I started apologizing, but she stopped me. She asked me to let her finish and not to interrupt her. She had brought her little notebook and had written down things she wanted to say to me. She told me that she truly loved me, but after we discussed getting married, she started feeling scared of the next big step. She thought those feelings were normal and would go away, so she decided not to discuss her concerns with me. It kept on eating her from inside, and she made a mistake to talk to Chloe about them. She said that she wanted to say everything to me now, so I don't get secondhand information about why she was distant and broke up with me. She said that her parents had a very rocky marriage, though they were together until her mom passed away in 2021 during the pandemic. Her parents argued constantly, and she always thought her mom did not love her dad. However, her mom was extremely dependent on him for everything, and her dad knew it and hence didn't treat her well. She never wanted to be like her mom after the marriage. However, as we lived together, she started seeing some of those issues in our relationship. For example, when we met, Sarah had a lot of credit card debt and was bad at managing her money. I helped her with that. Even though we have separate finances, I ended up managing all her finances, investments, etc., at her request, to the point that she did not know or understand where her money exactly was. She also said that we always enjoy making nice meals for dinner every day. However, whenever I work late, she completely loses any motivation to cook and ends up eating cheese and crackers like a toddler for dinner. She also complained that in the last 4 years of our relationship, I have never said no to her for buying anything. She feels that I coddle her, and she just got comfortable with all the luxuries and things I can provide for her. She talked about this with Chloe, and while Chloe initially just listened to her, she told her around September that one of her cousins also had the same issue. She decided to stay away from her fiancé for a month, and within a week, she realized how much she missed him and never had doubts again. When Sarah asked for a break, all she wanted to do was to live with her best friend for a few weeks to see if she was just too codependent on me. She knew I was planning to propose during our Christmas trip to my parents' house, and when I told her that she could not take a break, she just freaked out and broke up with me, as she did not want to be engaged without knowing for sure that we wouldn't end up like her parents. After Chloe told Sarah she should take a break, Chloe simultaneously told me Sarah wanted to break up because she was unhappy. Thinking a break meant she wanted to move away permanently, I panicked when she asked. After this, she asked me when I started meeting Chloe and how many times we met. I opened my chat messages with Chloe and handed her the phone. I told her I met Chloe only once in September, where she told me that Sarah wanted to break up with me because she was not happy with our relationship. I already had noticed Sarah's distant behavior, and when I asked her, the only answer I got was, "I am fine. We are fine." Due to my insecurities, I tried to hold on to Sarah and started coddling her more, planning more expensive dates, and trying to spend more time at home. When Sarah asked me for a break and to stay away from me for a few weeks, I thought that was the final step before the breakup and broke down and fought with her, which led to our breakup and her moving out. At this point, Sarah's voice started cracking up. She asked me when Chloe contacted me after the breakup. I pointed her to the messages. Chloe initially just started sending me memes to cheer me up, and I just used to respond with thanks or a thumbs up. However, the messages started getting more frequent, and she offered to talk to me in case I needed help. She asked me what I was doing for Christmas and New Year's, and when I told her I was inviting a few friends, she told me that she does not have any plans for New Year's, and I invited her. Sarah stopped me there. She told me she did not need to hear the details after that. She told me that when she moved out of our house after our fight, she thought she was just not ready to get married to me. She stayed with her friend for 2 weeks and then got her new apartment in January. She told me that she was miserable and missed me badly. It became more acute when she moved into the apartment alone and could not stay there for even one night. Her best friend is currently staying with her in the new apartment. She realized she could not live without me within a week of living there. When she asked one of our mutual friends on Saturday about how I was doing, she told her about the party and told her Chloe was there. It did not make sense to her why Chloe would be at the party. She concluded that Chloe and I were having an affair during our relationship, and that was the reason Chloe must have tried to break us apart by constantly telling her that she should not get married if she had doubts. When she saw Chloe in our apartment on Sunday, she completely broke down. However, when she learned that Chloe was also talking to me and telling me the opposite things, she realized how naive she was to throw everything away without properly talking to me first. As hurt as she is seeing me with Chloe, she also does not want to lose me. She kept on calling herself an idiot and apologizing for not telling her concerns to me sooner. I sat next to her and tried to hug her, but she moved away. She asked me if I was willing to still be together, and I told her I would give anything to get her back. She told me she was also willing to forget what happened, but she had a few conditions. Her first condition was that I cut contact with Chloe. I block her everywhere and never contact her again. If I see her standing in front of me, I act as if she is invisible. As far as I'm concerned now, Chloe does not exist. I was okay with that. Secondly, she has already signed up for individual therapy and is on the wait list. She wants us to do couples therapy so that we can talk about all the concerns we have and work through them. She is looking for her own therapist right now, acknowledging it takes time to find the right fit, but at least now we have discussed the issue, so it will be easier for us to see the signs and work on them together. We also decided to hold off our engagement or marriage until we both can get into couples therapy. I was also okay with that too. Finally, she wanted me to forget the last month as a bad nightmare and never talk about it again. And if I ever make a "we were on a break" joke, she will punch me in the face. This was the first time we both smiled. I asked her what she was going to do about Chloe as they worked together. She said the biggest punishment for Chloe is to know that she did not succeed in breaking us up. She wants Chloe to see how happy she is with me. She wants Chloe to be there when she flaunts her engagement ring in the office and gets jealous when we get married. We hugged, and I felt so relieved that I had a chance to make things right for her. I asked her to stay, and she agreed. The rest of the evening was nice. We ordered DoorDash and watched reruns of Top Chef while cuddling on our couch. In the morning, we discussed moving back together. I want her to move back to our old apartment, but she wants a fresh start and asked me if I'm willing to move into her new apartment. Her new apartment is tiny compared to our current apartment and also not in the best neighborhood, but we will talk about it more and decide. I also will have to deal with the issue of having two 12-month leases and how to get out of one of them. Currently, Sarah went to her apartment after lunch to get some of her stuff for the week, and I am writing this post. I am just so lucky that I did not lose Sarah despite my terrible actions during the last month. I just hope that I will be able to work things out and get married soon. And this whole incident is a small bump in our perfect relationship. I also don't know how to address the issue where she feels coddled by my behavior and feels like I'm making her codependent on me. It's just my personality, and I need to work on that during couples therapy. However, any tips from you guys are welcome on how to make her feel less codependent. P.S. Thanks to everyone who checked on my health during the last few days via direct messages and sent me numbers for helplines. Don't worry, I am a marathon runner and don't give up that easily. New update. I wrote a few posts 6 months ago regarding breaking up with my then fiancée, Sarah, because she asked me for a break, and then hooking up with her friend Chloe. It turned out that Chloe was the one who encouraged Sarah to ask me for a break and also befriended me and told me about Sarah's intentions in advance. They were the worst few weeks of my life, but Sarah and I reconciled and got back together. A lot of you have been asking me for an update, and I feel this is a good time to give a final update. After the incident, Sarah told me that she wants to get back together and forget about the whole thing, but I could see that she was still hurt by my behavior. I tried to not love bomb her and give her space, as that was the reason why we broke up in the first place. Sarah had a mental breakdown and had a panic attack during the week after she saw Chloe with me in our apartment. She got an online therapist who she still sees once a week. We also looked for couples counseling and were able to see one almost a month after the incident. We decided to put our plans for marriage on hold until then. I could feel that Sarah was making a lot of effort to act normally, but something was not right. I was optimistic about us, but it was hard to see her suffer because of my actions. During our first couples counseling session, we both opened up about our relationship and talked about the incident. Sarah apologized to me for not communicating what was in her mind and how bad she felt for putting me through all the drama. She told me that she did not know how to process her thoughts and did not want to unload all her negative feelings on me and panicked in the moment. I also apologized to her about everything, and at one point, we were in competition on who gets to take a bigger blame for what happened. There were a lot of tears, and I found the experience very healing. The counselor told us that she could see how much we love each other and should take baby steps towards talking to each other about what is in our mind. She gave us some exercises to do after going home and discussing certain things. By the time we left her office, I was so sure that I wanted to spend my life with Sarah. I told her that, and she also said that she cannot imagine a life without me. We decided to go ahead with our wedding plans. We did attend couples counseling for 2 more sessions, and it was good to talk through our expectations about each other. I know not everyone needs it, but would highly recommend it to any couple getting married. Chloe tried to contact me several times. She messaged me, but Sarah blocked her on my phone and all socials. She also contacted Sarah and sent some nasty messages to her. The worst was 15 days after the incident when Chloe started posting pictures of me and her on Instagram every day. Some of those photos were intimate non-nude, and it caused a lot of pain to Sarah. Sarah reported her to HR and got a transfer and promotion to a different department after a month. The last I heard from Chloe was when she sent me a long email on my work email, but I deleted it without reading. The photos Chloe posted did cause a lot of drama, and we had to explain to our parents and friends about what happened during that time. As you all may have guessed, I was unanimously nominated for the Idiot of the Year award. I feel like an idiot because I should have taken some time before moving on to the next girl willing to be with me. Sarah and I were in a relationship for 4 years, and I almost threw everything away in 15 days. If you read the first post in isolation and the 3,000 plus comments, you would also see why I'm an idiot here. But I am sure my sister would give me a good run for it before the year ends. She is a goofball. I am sure she will do something more stupid before the end of the year. There is no way in hell I will win that title when she is around. The whole issue lasted for a month, and then we never heard from Chloe again and just moved on with our lives. Sarah has been talking to her therapist about her codependency issues and concerns. I think childhood trauma, and the therapist feels that it might have amplified after her mother's sudden death. I have been trying to help Sarah slowly take interest in our finances, recommending Ramit Sethi's podcast, but she is allergic to money talks and always changes the subject. I was able to break the lease that Sarah signed by paying some penalty, and we stayed in our old apartment. However, Sarah wanted to move out of it as soon as possible because of the bad memories. We purchased a single-family home a few months ago in a nice suburb and moved there in May. I don't think that issue of codependency is resolved and probably may have increased after the incident, but I love her and will always be there for her when she needs me. On to the main update. Sarah and I got married last Saturday in a nice intimate ceremony held at my father's country club. All our family and friends were present, and I could not have asked for a better evening. I wish I could share photos of Sarah in her wedding dress because she looked stunning. We plan to leave for our honeymoon next week, and I could not have been happier about how things turned out. Hopefully, in 25 years, Sarah and I would look back at this incident as a small blip in our perfect life.